Hello. Shalom. Call on you. First and foremost, I'm going to say call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, giving all praises to the great Ali Shaija, the great I Am, the possessor of heaven and earth, of the spirits of heaven and earth, and giving much respect to his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Hamashiach, the light of this world, the one who died for Israel and rose to sit to become his holy, divine right arm, my redeemer, my comforter, my salvation, and only one that plead his blood over Israel, the only nation granted for a salvation. Shalom, shalom. Much respect and double honors to Great Millstone, who gave me this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and this truth to share with you guys. To those of you who are listening, if not, then to the wind that it is. And much respect to those brothers who gave me the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and who gave me a piece of the light for me to hold and to cherish. Shalom to Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim, the brothers that's in the word. And you may not be from Great Millstone, but you still follow them. You listen to their classes, you attend and you learn from them, and you go to the highways and byways, and you bring out the word at home, and you risk your freedom in your life to do so as well. Giving much respect to the Akim. Shout out to the Aqua, the beautiful women that's in the word. And whether you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, and you listen and you learn in silence. Coming back at you with another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and the name Yahweh Shai. And this video is just dedicated to the times that we in. Sometimes you got to re-innovate on certain things, and it's good to keep that a refresh in your mind, and knowing that all this is coming to an end, and that you could be the one that Yahweh Shai is coming to save. So I was in Luke chapter 21, verse 7 on down. And it does talk about the times and the great darkness that things will be in. And that's how we know the times that we're in. And we know that it's approaching and it's happening already. It's just in a slow motion. And things are meant to take place the way Yahweh has deemed it. So, yes, everything is going according to plan. Things take time. Yahweh is actually giving his people more time to repent. You know what I'm saying? And doing the best that doing what he said that he was going to do. Is giving them as much time as they needed. And when the grace period is over with, then all hell and all his hatred and all his fury would break loose. It says, Luke 21, chapter 7, it says, no, chapter 21, verse 7, so they asked him, saying, Teacher, but when will these things be, and what sign will there be when these things are about to take place? And he said, Take heed that that you may not be deceived. Excuse me. For many may come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time has drawn near, therefore do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately. So we hearing about the wars in Ukraine, we hearing about the starvation, we hearing about the new pestilence that appeared out of nowhere. We starting to see signs of civil unrest and riots across the U.S. as well as across the world. You know what I'm saying? But the end has not come yet. So it says that is one thing that we can look at and identify to measure the times diligently. It says, Then he said to them, Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. That's World War III. Yeah, that's dawning. And there will be great earthquakes in various places. We've seen a lot of earthquakes in different places around the world. I think one was in Afghan, I do believe, and it killed like over 100 people. I think a couple of days ago. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think I am right. It was an earthquake in Afghanistan. We had those strange earthquakes in Puerto Rico at the beginning of the year. I do believe the beginning of 2022, and they had like over 100 earthquakes in a week, or 1,000 earthquakes within a week. What's another good place? I do believe it was a landslide in Venezuela a couple of months past. But there has been other earthquakes that I'm not familiar with, but it has been a lot of earthquakes in various places that can't be explained. It says, and famines and pestilence. So, they got all of this strange famine thing going on, and they shortening the food, and they threatening to take away the transport. You know what I'm saying? They rising the gases up so they can freeze. You know what I'm saying? The food demand, and it can stop it to where people wouldn't know how or where to get their food. Good luck getting your food if you can drive your car overseas. But other than that, I don't really see people doing that. So it says, and pestilence. There are all kind of diseases being let loose. These are these spirits that's made for vengeance, and they demonic spirits that God is about to place on all of the world and all of the wicked people, and the wicked 2/3 that won't repent and won't come home. Yahweh is going to place these demonic spirits on them, and just let these spirits run free and destroy everybody who's not deemed for Yahweh. So, the pestilence is a very big one. It says, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from heaven. So, um, the fearful sights is the giant chariots. I wouldn't be surprised if the Most High sent the meteor showers. You know what I'm saying? Certain things and certain signs that's in the sky that you wouldn't be able to ignore. Things that would terrify you. Because if these cities didn't have any lights or nothing, you would be seeing a lot of strange things in the sky that would scare you. So it says, but before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons. You will be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So apparently, this is what the white man is going to do to those of us that is preaching and standing up for the gospel. They want to offer us up, and they want to question us and ask us reasons why we do this, blah 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 that. How can you say that Yahweh Shai, that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and his only begotten Son is the God of heaven and the God of earth, the creator of all things, and his son Yahweh Shai is the Messiah, the owner of the world? They're gonna question the same way that they question Yahweh Shai, they're gonna question his followers, which are, us, Great Millstone and all the way on down. So, they will be questioned, and we will have to answer. But the Most High say, the things that you answer, don't mind it, because it says, but it will turn out for you as an occasion for testimony. It says, therefore settle in your hearts not to meditate beforehand on what you will answer. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries will not be able to contradict or resist. That's how powerful the word is. Ooh, my chest. It says, you will be betrayed even by parents and brothers, right? Because the pestilence and the plagues and the famines and the great catastrophes would be so powerful. That's what the white man gonna do. He gonna say, offer up those who believe in God, offer up those of them that believe in the Messiah, and this is gonna stop. This is gonna stop coming upon you. So a lot of people are gonna be like, they're gonna take it into consideration after a lot of death and a lot of destruction. No more livelihood, them starving to death, them seeing all these different diseases. They're gonna go back to the same people that they depended on, that Yahweh had broke their dependence on. So they're gonna go back to the white man. They're gonna go back to the governments. They're gonna go back to their GR. They're gonna go back to their regular jobs because they can't stand to see what the world has become, and they want to escape the wrath of Yahweh. But, a lot of them, because a lot of them don't believe, and they go against Yahweh. A lot of people like the world the way it is today, and they don't want it to change. So that's what will happen. You'd be surprised who offer up who when the time comes, because the time of temptation will come upon the world and come upon everybody, and everybody that don't think that you standing by your brothers and sisters, and you don't think that they won't offer you up, they will. And it's best to be by yourself, or to be with a group of Israelite brothers that I have your back, ride or die, brothers, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters that you know that's with the word, rather than being with a regular family that don't have the word. They'll be quick to betray you and offer you up, and you'll be surprised that it happened. You know, but why be surprised that it happened when it was already foretold? It says relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death, right? Yep. Because they feel like if they kill the prophets, it'll stop the Lord's coming, when it's only going to make it worse. It says, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake, but not a hair on your head shall be lost. By your patience possess your souls. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then you know that that desolation is near. It says, then let those who are in Jerusalem, Judea, flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart. So if you got any fucking common sense, you know, this is what the Bible is warning. If you have any, because this is what happened when Jerusalem fell in 330 BC. This is exactly what happened. That's why this Bible prophecy that Yahweh Shai is speaking in red already it happened, but it's gonna happen again. So the Most High is saying, if you got any common sense and you see these armies and you see these people killing off the Israelites and destroying them, and great bloodshed, you know, even before that happens, you see them coming and rolling in, because that's their plans to attack Israel all at once. That's what the white man want to do. And these 2/3, they're going to get their ass handed to them. But the remnant, they're going to know the times that they're in, and they're going to depart. That's why the Most High say, by your patience possess your souls. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart, and let not those who are in the country enter her. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. So that's what's happening. Everything in the Bible is being fulfilled, and his promises will be made. When he said that he would start with Judah first, that Yahweh was actually pretty serious about that. So a lot of the Negroes, Mexicans, the Indians, the children of Israel that don't come back, God is coming to punish them, and they're gonna get a big ass punishment. It's gonna be a great slaughter, you know, among our people. It says, but woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babes in those days. For there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people, and they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So there you go. Now we at that time where the Gentiles, the white man, his time is about to fulfill itself. You know, it's talking about all the way from the past till now. So it says, and there will be in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and on the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing from fear and the expectation of things are which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. That's right, and that's the nuclear day. That's what they're afraid of. So if World War III were to crack off, you'd be surprised. You'll be, to your amazement, you're gonna see a lot of people really sweating and really scared that World War III is actually happening, which it will happen. I had a dream about that like a couple of nights ago, and they was saying World War III was coming on the radio, and everybody's face that I've seen in the dream, they was so scared and they was so sad, but I was so happy and I was so excited. You know what I'm saying? I might have been afraid a little bit, but I was more happier than anything, because I was like, see, I told your ass, I told you so. You know, and that's what's gonna happen. A lot of people gonna get proved wrong by Great Millstone and the prophets that followed them. They're gonna get proved wrong because people said it wasn't gonna happen, and people doubted it, but not out of saying it knowing that they're right. It's saying it because they know that they wrong. You know, and it's more of a fear thing than anything, like the prophets say. Oh man, give me a break. Going back to Luke chapter 21. But yeah, it's going to be more out of fear than out of doubt. That's what people are going to be. That's what people are worried about. They fear that these days come and they don't have to live in these times. They don't have to worry about this age that's coming, which is the end of the age, the end of the world. A lot of people hoping that they pass and they be able to enjoy their life and pass and not having to worry about these events that are coming upon the earth, but they do. So right now, a lot of people are kind of shaking in their boots because they do hear rumors and talks of war, and the white people sticking their guns and their nuclear bombs at each other. I'll hurt you if you come across this ground. I'll hurt you if you break this law. I'll hurt you if you side with them, because the white people are going against each other like God had prophesied they would. That's how we know, who the Gentiles are and that they've met their time. Because the Bible does describe the white man bringing about the end of the world through his own hand, and through his own hand meaning that white people, they was the only ones who can make nuclear bombs. So through their own hand the world will end. It makes perfect sense. So the white man can't escape his fate. It's only time now, and his time is drawing shorter and shorter. Even a white man see it like, damn, my time is almost up. But I ain't gonna press these buttons knowing that what it would do to the world that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to change the world and bring upon a new world order, not destroy it. Because like they said, the end of times, the nuclear day is gonna come suddenly. It's even gonna be to the surprise of the nations, and all the white people that run it. They ain't even gonna believe that they pressed the button, and most of the nations gonna destroy America, and America gonna destroy some of them, and it's gonna fuck up the whole world. They're gonna be surprised, like, I can't believe we just did something that horrible. And then now I can read this part. It says, and there will be signs in the moon, and no, in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. Yep, you're gonna be seeing a lot of unexplained things that are happening in the sky. A lot of God's chariots. You know what I'm saying? What you would call UFOs. That you know what I'm saying. And the sun. How the sun was going through eclipses and black sun events. Those were constant signs and warnings. Or the sun that it will duplicate sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you would, instead of you seeing one or two suns in certain parts of the world, you seen 3 or 4 suns. You know what I'm saying? Mainly, I was speaking upon China, because China and them was getting a lot of strange phenomenon, weird shit that was happening with the sun and with the sky and the stars. You know what I'm saying? All around the world. It says, and the moon, the red moon events. Some of them has been a lot. Red moons have been appearing a lot more, instead of like what a red moon event probably should appear once every 40 years. They're appearing every year now. You know what I'm saying? And they appear like some 3 to 4 times a year. And that red means stop. That red means to repent. That's to the children of Israel. It's not to, we know the white man is not going to repent. He's not going to stop. So it's to the children of Israel when they read this Bible and they get the proper breakdowns and they go to the prophets. Then when they see these signs, they're supposed to repent and supposed to stop doing what they're doing, for the time is near for the end of the world, and for Yahweh Shai to make his second coming. So, for by you repenting and all that and being converted, then it may be well with you that Yahweh Shai doesn't see you as an enemy. So it says, and the star, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them from fear and the expectation of the things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. That's right. Because them people, that when they see the nuclear event coming, it's going to be so powerful, it's going to turn everything dark. At least like what 30 million something nuclear missiles is gonna rain on America, and America gonna exchange like a couple of thousand of nuclear missiles, whatever they got, on the rest of the nations, and the whole world is gonna turn black. That's how it's gonna happen. It's gonna turn bright as hell and then black as fuck. And it's gonna be so black, it's gonna be like a stage. You know, when everybody is sitting in the crowd and shit and they about to do the presentation movie, you know, or they doing the opening act of a play, you know, when everything goes dark and then the lights shut on. That's how it's gonna happen, and the whole earth is gonna wobble and shake and wobble, and you're gonna hear all kinds of gigantic noises. Not only that, the heavens are gonna catch fire. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Look, this is the power of nuclear bombs. I don't know how that's possible or a way I can explain to you just how powerful these nuclear bombs is, but the heavens will melt. It will melt to the point to where you'll be able to see it, like the literal sky melting and falling onto the damn floor. That's how powerful and radioactive these bombs are, and they will be killing many. But ultimately, you'll be able to see it for your own eyes, and Yahweh willing, I'm not here to see it on that day. I'd rather be up in them chariots with Yahweh Shai and them, you know what I'm saying, or up in the chariots with the angels than down here happen to see that with my, you know, down here happen to see it with my own eyes and happen to be here, because everybody know that if you're here during the nuclear day, then you were condemned to be here. So it says, they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draweth nigh. Then he spoke to them in parables. It says, look at the fig tree and all the trees. It says, when they are ready to when they are already budding, you see and know for yourselves that summer is now near. So you also know, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of Yahweh is near. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away until all things take place. So the next generation feel like they gonna die before they see it. No, you're gonna be here. On a lot of these people, and a lot of us will be here to see that day. So, you know, it says that God won't allow, when the time come, Yahweh will not allow nobody to die until those nuclear bombs come. Well, not like a figure of speech. I'm saying, well, for those of them that's the most wickedest, God won't allow them to die until they see those bombs. But for those of them that are wicked, a lot of them will, you know, die. Salakia to that. Let me rephrase that. But ultimately, a mass amount of Israelites in the wicked 2/3, they're going to die with these white folks. So, you know, it's going to be very, very horrible. It says, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But take heed to yourselves, lest your heart be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and that day come upon you unexpectedly. That's right. So what the Most High wants to see the most, he wants to see you into the Bible, reading, bringing out different lessons to the best you can, thinking about him constantly, knowing that all these things and all these worries in the earth will pass away, because when the end of the world comes, we know that the children of Israel will be free. We won't have to deal with no more oppressors. We won't have to deal with no more racism. We won't have to deal with no more money, no more jobs, no more people standing on our necks, constant nagging, being made fun of. The children of Israel have been through a lot of things during their time. You know what I'm saying? Here on the earth. So the Most High, by the Most High coming, Yahweh Shai coming, his son for the second coming is a great thing. It's not a bad thing that the earth is being destroyed and laid waste. It's a great thing. Well, just for us children of Israel. I don't know about everybody else who call themselves worshiping God, but they're not. They don't have the right to worship God. You know, so I don't know about the rest of them. They can consider themselves just as well as dead, because their ancestors did horrible things to the children of Israel. Now you want to come because you feel like you different, or you're a good person aside from what your ancestors did, that you can be saved. No, that don't work like that. The Most High say the best way to get back at people sometime is by killing them. So the Most High is going to get rid of them and take their families and take them and take their friends and their families' friends. It's going to be a whole chain reaction. It's going to be very, 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 very bloody. It's going to be very, very satanic. So I'm going to just make this one real quick. And this has been about just the times revised. You know, call on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, and the name Yahushai, Shalom. It's on to the next video. And Shalom.